Yes, that is a bun. Eh, sorry, I hit the go live button and then immediately had to go to the bathroom. Alright, so we have 11 more responses left in this first act. They're all with Elin, who's one of the least obnoxious. Let's just give in it right from the start. Do you believe in reincarnation?
I've never really got the idea of reincarnation. I mean, are you still you? Do you know you're still you? And if not, how does that even work?
Okay. Let's see what else we've got. There's something from Hello. What could from Hello be?
I'm Elin. I'm 25 and I'm a nurse. God, I sound like I'm on one of those dating shows.
Yeah, we've done Nurse. We've done Dating Show.
I don't know. No, death doesn't scare me. It's probably because I've been around it so much, but I haven't seen anything that's made me feel like it's something to fear. I don't think death is an end. I think it's a doorway to another place. I'm just not sure where. Where do you think we go when we die, Doctor?
Okay, we've already done all those. Except for there's still something there. What are you scared of?
I feel really bad.
Hmm. I'm curious what the response is off of Valhalla.
No, sorry.
Oh. What? Really? Where does your name come from?
Apparently it's a Welsh name. I'm not Welsh. My
I don't
mum's
believe it's
into
a
all
Welsh
that new
name. All
age
the
stuff, and
letters
I
are
think she thought it
pronounced.
would make me seem more interesting.
That was the question off of her name. We had to ask where her name came from. Let me see
Apparently it's
that
a
again.
Welsh name. I'm not Welsh. My mum's into all that new age stuff, and I think she thought it would make me seem more interesting.
New Age stuff?
New age, like auras and healing energy, crystals, and all that. It's not really my thing.
You're an herbalist. Yeah, there comes a point with this where you just end up using the hint because it's so obtuse. I guess she did say that she likes animals in one of her...
I love animals, especially cats. I think everyone is either a cat person or a dog person. What are you, Doctor?
I'm a cat person. I've not been given a choice.
Yay, me too. I have a cat called Church. He's
I
adorable.
mean, yes, but out of the choices she gave. Hmm. Okay. So the only ones we've still got was that one about the great unknown, which I couldn't even begin to figure out what a clue was from that. And it really is. Personas are not a binary.
I don't really know what that is. Something to do with Vikings, isn't it?
Yes, Vikings. Really? Norse mythology.
Oh, well, there you go. You learn something new every day.
That was some BS. I love what this game does, but sometimes... Um... Nothing after death.
I'd really like to be able to answer. No, death doesn't scare me. It's probably because I've been around it so much, but I haven't seen anything that's made me feel like it's something to fear. I don't think death is an end. I think it's a doorway to another place. I'm just not sure where. Where do you think we go when we die, Doctor?
Nowhere.
Well, that's bleak, but I don't believe it.
I swear to God, if that was the last response. Okay. Do you enjoy it when your patients die?
No, I don't like it. I feel lucky to share that moment with them, to be there with them when it happens. You know what I mean?
There's still another off of the Great Unknown. Yeah, we're going to be hinting through the rest of this, because these are rough. Yeah. Kind of like she's not into that new age stuff that her mother's into. But, yeah. Become one with the universe, which is essentially nothing.
Maybe we go somewhere completely beyond what we can imagine. We're only humans after all. We can't possibly comprehend what's really out there.
Please don't have any more off of that one. Okay. So there's just a question I haven't asked, because there's no more asterisks here. I can't think of a single other thing I could ask. Do you kill your patients? Nope, that just brings up the Angel of Death. Seeing Dr. Decker, right.
I'd been seeing him for about 9 months, I think.
Okay, we finally finished the day.
Oh, Doctor, glad I caught you. I thought you might want to hear what Ben had to say. Quick catch up?
Okay. Hello.
I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a while. He's still pretty shook up about
I want
finding the
that
body.
top.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often in the line of work he's in. Anyway, he said he found the body at exactly 20 minutes past 10. For some reason, the first thing he did was look at his watch. That's all he'd say before he'd shut down. The police weren't very talkative either.
Okay. Been doing. How are you?
He was stabbed, so that's quite a personal thing to do. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the patients who had a problem with the treatment they were getting.
Hmm.
I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a...
Finding the body.
Yes, Ben found Dr. Decker's body on Valentine's night in his office. In your office.
Hmm.
Yes, the 14th of February, the day of love. Or remembering a massacre, whichever's more you.
Okay, so we'll need to ask the patients where they were on Valentine's Day. Um.
I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a while. He's still pretty shook up about finding the body. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often
Line
in
of
the line
work?
of work he's in. Anyway, he said he found the body at exactly 20 minutes past 10. For some reason, the first thing he did was look at his watch. That's all he'd say before he'd shut down. The police weren't
Police?
very
Okay.
talkative either.
Ben's line of work?
Sorry, didn't you know? Ben's one of the night shift cleaners. I'm sure he's got some tales he could tell.
The police?
The police wanted to know what I was doing Valentine's night, when the body was found. I was at home, all on my lonesome. So I guess that makes me a suspect.
Hmm.
He was stabbed, so that's quite a personal thing to do. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the patients who had a problem with the treatment they were getting.
Patient who had a problem?
It's good that you're asking lots of questions. I'm just not sure you're asking the right one.
Oh, I don't think that's actually. Oh no, that is an asterisk. Kiss.
I'm just surmising. If you're unhappy enough to kill your therapist, they're probably not doing a very good job.
Okay, so that's some motivation.
Yes, Ben found Dr. Decker's body on Valentine's night in his office. In your office.
What was he killed with?
Sorry, I don't have a.
Yeah, you do. Um.
I don't know what Dr. Decker was doing here, and my services weren't required that
Yep.
evening. He'd often stay late though, so it wasn't that unusual.
Hi.
The police wanted to know what I was doing Valentine's night, when the body was found. I was at home, all on my lonesome. So I guess that makes me a suspect.
You're a suspect?
I think the police want you to make a short list of suspects, or maybe even find the killer. You're seeing all the patients that were on the books when he was killed. There was no forced entry, so they think it might be someone he knew, or someone who had access to the office. Yeah, like little old me. Do you think I'm a suspect, Doctor?
No, I don't think you're a suspect.
And you barely know me. I'm flattered.
I
They
don't.
did mention
I
I
think if
needed
she
grief
killed, it would be
counselling, though,
something
and I
way worse
said,
than a
you
knife.
sort me out. I know you haven't agreed, but just so you know, that's very kind of you. I'll see you tomorrow.
No. We got more questions for you, apparently. Um. No. Um. Oh, right.
I wouldn't say we were best friends, but we did spend a lot of time together.
I guess I
There's
should
only
ask
two
her
of
the
us that
suspect
work
questions.
here. I'm sure we'll become friends too, Doctor. Just try not to get murdered.
Okay. How long did you work with Decker? No? Hmm. I really want that top. Who do you think killed Decker? No? How I asked about.
I don't know exactly, but a stabbing of some kind. We'll be getting the autopsy through at some point. I'll let you know when. I don't know exactly, but a stabbing of some kind. We'll be getting the autopsy through at
So
some
this
point.
is a game
I'll
you've
let you
taken
know when.
over as a psychiatrist or psychologist after the previous doctor was killed, and all of the patients have very weird quirks about them. One of them is convinced that he has an extra hour every day, that time just freezes at midnight and he has an hour to screw around. Another one talks about how days are literally repeating. Like, unless something extremely memorable happens, he just goes through the same day over and over again. There's a hot redhead who blacks out a lot. Haven't found her quirk yet, but she's a hot redhead. And you're just trying to figure out, get them to talk about their problems and also try to figure out who murdered the previous doctor. So it's kind of a murder mystery slash horror thing. And it's also very difficult, which is why I am cheating. Well, I'm not cheating.
I
They
wasn't really in
put
his
the system
social
in the
circle,
game.
so I don't know if he had any friends. In terms of enemies, I heard things get heated in his office sometimes, but I won't name any names.
Name names.
Susan, Annabelle, Melissa. There are some names, but they're not names of anyone I know.
I deserve that.
I don't know exactly, but a stabbing of some kind. We'll be getting the autopsy through at some point. I'll let you know
Autopsy.
when. I didn't see it myself, so I don't know. But I heard it was a bit of a mess with all the blood and everything. You know, they have people who clean up after such things, though, so you really can't tell, can you? But don't worry, that's a new chair. All I know is the police took his chair. Forensics, I suppose.
Okay, there we completed with her. So you can either get all of the basic information, which lets you progress the game, or you can get all of the information from them, which, if I remember right, makes the ending more weird. And also there's multiple endings that are
I'm having a
randomized.
loop day.
Okay, here's the guy where his days looped.
I'm not sure that's the answer I'm looking for.
Loop day?
It's a do-over day? You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again? You didn't know that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
I think it was primary school?
Well done, Doctor. Yeah, we met
No,
at
secondary.
Wouldn't it be funny if my day loops if you fail to get a question right?
No, it wouldn't be funny.
I agree.
Hello? Oh, did I accidentally just get every question right there? Yeah, there's no hints. I just accidentally got that all right. So I remember if you get one of those wrong, he gets up and says, "Yeah, this isn't working today," and then you start it back over again. So you kind of brute force the day by going through his loops.
I'm having a loop day.
Oh. Or if that's exactly what's happening.
It's a do-over day. You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again? I suppose you did remember that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
Secondary school.
Yeah, at secondary school. It's been fun, but I've got a pill. Dr. Decker gave me this pill. He told me if I took it, I'd never have another loop day. It's got a small skull and crossbones on it.
You can
Should I take
type
the tablet, Doctor?
you can type to have it give you a hint on the what questions you should be asking. Because some of the questions get very obscure. One of them you had to ask somebody about their name and where it came from, which I never would have thought of. No, don't take the pill.
You're cool. I don't think this is getting us anywhere, though. I'll see you tomorrow. Again.
Did they make the mouse
I'm
cursor
having a
so
loop
small?
day.
Do you have the pill?
I never mentioned a pill this time, or a tablet. What the hell is going on here? Are you reliving my days?
Apparently, yes.
I'm not sure that's the answer I'm looking for.
You met Hannah in secondary.
I'm not sure.
Like that. What? I just typed hint and it's what do you mean by loop?
It's a do-over day. You won't remember it.
Jaya.
Well done. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
Secondary. Actually, yeah.
I'm not sure that's the answer. Yeah, great. Is there anything you can say that's going to break this loop for me?
Take the pill.
Well done. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
I think we're trying to get. Let's try. Goldshire.
I'm not sure that.
No.
No, I don't play that game anymore.
Okay.
I never mentioned a pill this time, or a tablet. What the hell is going on here? Are you reliving my days? Something somewhere has changed since you arrived. Like some kind of sim theory.
Sim theory?
It's a thing. Some professor believes we could be living inside a computer simulation and someone is controlling us. And there are millions of these sims. And someone somewhere behind a keyboard is just causing havoc.
That would explain a
I'm
lot.
starting to think you have that keyboard, Doctor. Wait, don't answer that. I don't want to know.
Okay.
At midnight each day.
On
Okay, that was
Valentine's
actually the
night,
end of it.
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda.
I black
I
out,
don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just,
naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
So we're going straight back to Mariana. Maybe.
Ooh. Deja vu. Are you sitting in exactly the same place I left you last night? Oh, that's where it all starts, Doctor. Anyway, do you think you can fit me in today? Looking at the diary, it's just the usual suspects, and you must be getting sick of them already. I've got this for you. 2. It's some more footage from Professor Alderby that was hiding away. Well, come find me if you need anything.
Let's look at this footage.
Nothing, of course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. But that's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Decker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him. Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job! Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered. Without chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you. Psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. Anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos. It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time, as by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next, which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float. 3, 2, 1. You think nothing happened. But where's your glass, Doctor?
Uh-huh. Oh, we have new people. Let's see who the new people are. Apparently they're not going to show up. I remember this one. She's creepy.
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then? That sounds like something I should know about.
Been seeing Dr. Decker since I keep
I
forgetting
didn't
that
have much
question.
luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they?
Yeah, that's honestly the way I would answer that most of the time.
She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth.
What is the truth?
It killed them. It looks normal enough. A smartly dressed door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah. But she said she was selling double glazing. I don't know. I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house.
I'm confused. I think I might have accidentally skipped ahead in a question there. Where were you on Valentine's?
I was at Henley Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life?
No.
No, I can't really. Garden club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people.
Okay. Did you like Dr. Decker? No. Let's
I'm
see what
Lacey
we got ahead.
Hendricks. So you don't know about me then?
Know about me?
Where to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her. But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch. It was me and Agnes. Everyone else thought we were
Okay.
overreacting. If they want
Have
their throats cut,
fun.
that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes. Poor Agnes.
Hmm.
I don't know. I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house. I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into a, well, it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face. And Agnes just fell to the floor. A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes.
A Medusa, huh?
I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Decker. He didn't believe me either. I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me.
Alright.
He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they?
They haven't found Agnes? Where is the body?
What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left, and Nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless...
Who is Ron?
Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gotten that stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd...
It ate her?
What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless...
Unless?
Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think...
Under the greenhouse?
I need to call the police. I need to call them now.
Yeah,
They
that's
won't
why
listen
it's
to
good
me.
it has the hint
I tried to
system
tell
built
them
in.
about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor? What? That can't be possible. Is that true? Why don't I know about it then? When was this then? Is she alive?
Dead?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I love this game. We're even gonna turn the hint cooldown to 30 seconds, because I love it. I love the story it tells. And I heard it has a lot of different
each day.
endings. But right, changing that. Okay.
Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gotten that stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd... No. He's a Weasley little man who spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing. I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor?
No, I won't call the police.
I'll get someone else to do it. I suppose I shouldn't really expect any help from you. Dr. Decker used to call me the leech lady. He said that I leech thoughts from people, suck 'em right out of their heads. And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway?
You sell double glazing.
Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine.
So we solved hers. She basically just admitted to a murder in front of us. We're not going to do anything about that. Oh, I love her.
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Decker? Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you?
On Valentine's night.
We had a display in the gallery based on Love Conquers All, so I had to work. Mainly it was a collection of giant hearts sat on things, but I ran into another patient, Bryce. I'd never really spoken with him before, but he's quite an art critic. I couldn't get rid of him until I finished work at 11. There's actually another guy who takes over on the night shift. I'm not sure if he kept talking to Bryce though. Providence is open 24 hours.
Providence?
I really don't know.
You're fine.
There's not much to tell.
Excuse me.
I knew he was a patient here. I'd seen him in the waiting room a couple of times. He likes art and talking and looking down here instead of up here.
Yeah, that tracks for Bryce.
Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you?
What is your problem? I love asking it like that.
When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving, like a mini film, like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting,
Why should I tell her that?
ouch. I didn't really know him that well. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now.
You just told me.
When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving, like a mini film, like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting,
Person in the painting?
they watch me, normally disapprovingly.
The paintings watch you.
Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art, because I'm too young.
I want your shoes.
Yes, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me.
See, on my OBS, you are purple. Oh, you're both pink.
When I want them to, normally. When I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop. I've been working on portraits at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray. I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me.
Talking to you.
That I'm ugly, that I have no talent, nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor?
God, no.
I hear it so many times from that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you.
How did you feel about Decker?
He was shy, and then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it.
Did you set fire to it?
Yeah, he could have been more specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several
Hey, that sounds
paintings
like a
didn't
you
make it.
problem.
Luckily, my boss didn't press charges. The police did arrest me, though. My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that. Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her.
Petra asked you to set fire to the gallery? I wouldn't have thought of that. No, that's really not good therapy.
Dr. Decker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra.
Okay. Hmm.
My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that. Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her.
Do anything for her? Oh.
No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance.
Did the Dorian painting get burned?
I already ripped up the painting. It screamed as I cut it. And now, whenever I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them.
Tablets?
The temazepam, the sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time.
I didn't give you tablets.
Nope. Dr. Decker gave them to me. They helped.
Okay, then why did you say I gave them to
I know
you?
it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this?
Hmm. Maybe you lack confidence. Sure, I'll go with that. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense with what the voices were telling her.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
Okay. Well, we had one cute girl, so let's go deal with the creepy guy. Hello.
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me. I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour.
So this is the guy that gets the extra hour every day at midnight where everything else is frozen.
When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground? I spent most of Valentine's Day at the art gallery. Well, the evening part, anyway. They had a display with the theme Love Conquers All. I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done.
What was the other girl's name? Jasmine. Were you a creep to Jasmine?
I don't really know about that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I would steal too, and I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things.
What have you stolen? Dang it. Have you spied on anyone?
Well, that makes me feel a little better.
What?
There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me.
No.
Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles. I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and... Not.
Yeah. You do too, Jessica.
I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor?
Yes!
I know. It's that bloody Dr. Decker. He made me this way. It's all his fault. I dug the grave for Dr. Decker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is?
He was cremated.
I don't have anything to say to that. No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine. I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated.
That's what I suggested.
Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor?
Cremated.
That's a good choice, Doctor. Less work for me.
Hmm.
When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen?
Oh yeah, what
Go
were
to a
some of the other
fairground?
suggestions? Fairground?
Ha! That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that.
It's also just better for the planet. All the chemicals they use for preserving the body and the casket and everything biodegrade, not to mention the concrete. It's just better for the planet to be cremated.
I did think, what good could I do other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture.
Oh, come on, man.
No, sorry.
You were doing good there for a split second, buddy.
Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Decker changed. He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice, he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it.
Where am I supposed to be getting that from? Asking if you can see something behind me.
Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't
Oh
normally
yeah, I'm not
say
doubting
anything.
that Dr. Decker's a prick. He certainly does not seem to have been a good doctor. Why would I ask if they found more relics?
That wretched dig goes on 24/7. 25/7, if you ask me.
Shut up.
Your patient, Nathan, caused quite a stir. He interrupted one of the female students all night, apparently. Made her miscategorize some findings, going on about his dead girlfriend. It's amazing what you hear at the coffee machine. Well, I suppose that's a bonus. We're allowed to use their coffee machine while they're there.
Hmm. Would murder someone?
Sorry, Doctor, I don't think you would, Doctor. I don't think I would either.
I don't know about you, man.
Thinking I had an extra hour at the end of each day did become real for me, Doctor. Maybe Decker was a genie, and he could grant wishes. Maybe he wished himself dead. I don't know.
See if we can figure out any more without...
Yes, I would steal too. And I...
What have you stolen? Oh, right, he told me about the milk.
I took photos of Jessica when she was...
Destroy the photos.
Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour.
That's not what I said.
You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows it was you. I'm a bit of a professional at this grave-filling business, Doctor. I know a decoy coffin when I handle one.
Decoy coffin. You know what? I've had enough of him for now. Let's go to my happy place.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts, new doctor, and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Decker.
Not a thought in her head.
Dr. Decker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it? Don't know. It's cold in here. It's a bit chilly in here. The leather's not warm either.
Ow.
I didn't do anything on Valentine's Day. I washed my hair and then I walked along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true. I saw one of your patients actually. The nurse. She was on the pier with someone. Pretty much all of the night too, so I can vouch for her even though she probably didn't see me.
They refuse to let that guy be anything except a pervert because he's a pervert. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second.
You're confusing me. We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but
Uh-huh.
I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be.
Hi, Cassandra.
Shh.
I'm sorry?
We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be.
What? Where'd the rest of that go? What?
Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Decker ordered neat whiskey. I had water. I don't drink. I haven't been back to the beach since our last session,
beach?
and no blackouts, new doctor, and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr.
Already
Decker.
did better behaved.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. I've kind of missed it.
Have you been back to the clubs?
Nope.
Oh, did it not work?
I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile.
Let me make sure it's working over here. Damn it, did they really break it twice in a week? Here, we'll do this until a duck pops up. There, you got 2 duckies. Rick, I remember there were 2 things that she said during that one that I meant to ask about.
Dr. Decker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it? I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them. We went out. Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Decker ordered neat whiskey. I had water. I don't drink. I guess it was a couple of days before
What?
Valentine's Day. It wasn't a date or anything. I noticed in our sessions that he'd been acting a little strange. He just didn't seem right. I wanted to find out what was wrong. For a lot of our sessions, he would be pretty impartial, a passive listener. But towards the end, he liked interfering. Like, he wanted to push me over the edge.
Nope, that one just brings up the you don't drink, and there's none there. Interfering
I'm not sure
seems like
how
a
this
keyword.
therapy thing works, but if you're talking to a guy who wants to jump off a cliff, don't tell him to jump. I just felt like I had some kind of special power, and part of me wanted to use it, and he urged me to do that.
You use whatever power you want, ma'am.
I don't want to say any more about it, not now. I'm a shape-shifting vampire werewolf. I said I didn't want to talk about it. What is it you're thinking about when you're not listening to me?
Look.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. I've kind of missed it.
Miss the beach?
You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts. I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it?
No.
I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile.
Maybe she is. Yes, you have a nice smile.
Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. Makes me feel dull by comparison.
Truly beautiful?
I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Sorry to cut
Ah!
in, Doctor. I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy, I just think we should act quickly before it's too late. Okay, well, just let me know.
Jaya! Don't interrupt my happy time.
I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets. Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now? Sorry.
Oop. Help if I spell it right. Feel like you want to jump off a cliff. Okay, I know where
It's
that one
just an
came
example.
from.
I'm not a guy. I don't want to jump off a cliff.
Okay.
Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Decker ordered neat whiskey. I had water. I don't drink.
Meat whiskey? Nope.
A hope for a cure, of course.
A cure?
I want to stop having blackouts. I want to be able to remember. I want you to fix me.
All right.
I didn't do anything on
Any other
Valentine's Day.
clues on things to ask before I
I washed
start
my
abusing
hair,
hint,
and then I
hint
walked
function?
along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true. I saw one of your patients, actually. The nurse. She was on the pier with someone. Pretty much all of the night, too, so I can vouch for her, even though she probably didn't see me. Sorry. I don't know. It's Scarlet with 2 T's. Pretentious. Clueless.
um,
Don't ask me. I don't know.
what breach?
You know, like
Sure.
a breach of ethics or something. Girl doesn't ask for details.
I love her. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we got all of the basic responses from her, so we'll go ahead and move on to the other before we start really abusing the hell out of hints. Hello.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died.
Week?
I don't know.
Nobody seems to be responding to Squeak.
I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a
What's
girl there
the anniversary of her parents'
by
death?
the
I don't
lake.
think it's something she wants
Only
to
about 9 or 10.
celebrate.
She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick. She lives on the other side of the lake. She must be new. I haven't seen her there before.
No squeaks. You'll have to squeak enough for everybody.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died. It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan anyway. I had to toughen up quickly.
Toughen up.
I was a young woman in possession of an enormous fortune. Lots of people, lots of men, saw that as an opportunity.
What are your parents like?
Yes, I loved my parents very much. They were very good parents. It was hard letting them go.
Ow. Sorry, chat. I have a bit of an earache going on. It's making this a little difficult.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house.
Got that one.
I always
Got
go to
that
the lake house
one.
anyway.
Oh, right. Valentine's Day.
The day Dr. Decker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him.
Valentine's night?
Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do.
David can vouch for you.
David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing. I don't know anything about that. Perhaps you should be taking more note.
No, I will get Bader, not better. Just because you said it that way. Oh.
I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor?
Yes, you're allowed to talk to her.
Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor.
Oh, human?
Are you bored?
Can talk to her again.
Then I will. I'll look for her next time I'm there.
Hi.
I
What the
don't know
heck
why I
else is
talked to her.
missing
She looked
here?
sad. I don't usually
Sad?
talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor?
He seems sad?
David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house. Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice.
Uh-huh. How is David? Oh. Hey, let's get back to that point. You stabbed your husband.
Sorry, I don't know anything about that.
Okay, that's in the police record, though.
They
Oh yeah, I guess I
died of
should
carbon
sit
monoxide
up a little.
poisoning.
Ow.
I was staying at a friend's house. Otherwise, I would have died too. Do you think I killed my parents?
You did stab your husband.
It's okay if you think I killed them. You wouldn't be the first to draw that conclusion. People can be so cynical. I'm used to it. The day
There's
Dr.
something
Decker
else
was killed,
here.
I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him.
Last time I saw him.
Dr. Decker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he.
Offer?
Dr. Decker was more animated that day. Excited, even. He talked a lot. I'm sure I
Excuse
had
me.
a spare key for the lake house,
That
but
was
I
a
can't
big
find it
yawn.
anywhere. I don't really need one if David is around. I was a young woman in possession of an enormous fortune. Lots of people, lots of men, saw that as an opportunity.
To be fair, there's probably some women that saw it as an opportunity too. It is an extremely fluffy tale.
There's very little I'm not willing to talk about, Doctor. Yes, money. Everybody wants it, but what use is it really? Look at me.
I mean, you admitted
Am
that
I
you're not in
happy?
jail because you have
Am I
money.
loved? Am I living? Sorry. I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water. I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child.
It's true. Kids are dumb. Let's see. Alright, we got all the yellow for her. I guess we'll continue on. Let's get Jaya before I forget. Sorry, I got distracted there again
Hey,
for a
you.
second.
Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it, though. I've recruited the last 5 doctors since I've been here. You know, I've got a flair for recognising the extraordinary. Both you and Dr. Decker were extraordinary.
What did that have to do with what I said? Hire a lawyer. Unfortunately, the Twitch redeems are broke right now.
On Valentine's Day, Dr. Decker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Decker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
Okay, I'm glad we came here before Nathan then. Let's see what
Hey,
words
you.
are italicized.
Thanks for
here.
helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it, though. I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think.
Sure. Tell me about... Well, let's start with the obvious one.
Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow
It's
her.
true.
Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like.
Sorry.
Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
You know what? I'm curious. Tell me about Bryce.
I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun,
Mariana is
he's
the redhead.
outside waiting
Yeah.
for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him.
Correct.
Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom. Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby.
Right?
Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Decker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened?
He flew?
I don't know. He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
Tell me about Elin.
Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
About... Crap, what were the other patients' name? Basically, I got the main ones, Lacey and Jasmine.
I'm not trying to hide anything. I just...
Oh yeah, I think they were added...
I can't help you with...
Yeah, I think there were a few patients added after the game came out, so she might not have responses for them.
He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock.
I wish I'd said goodbye. I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Decker. It was so sudden. Here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it? Dr. Decker resigned shortly before his murder. It's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that. I don't know about that.
Alderby?
Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that? I think I'm going to get into trouble now. Have you ever heard of secret shoppers? Well, Professor Alderby posed as a patient to test Dr. Decker. It's just a thing that he does. I'm sure he'll come and visit you at some stage, so please play along.
Huh.
Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Decker didn't introduce any of them.
Hmm.
So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him?
Get a solicitor. Always lawyer up.
I've got no idea what...
Get a solicitor.
I think we should get a solicitor. I know the perfect firm. I'll do it all. Don't worry about it. And that's why we've got insurance for these kinds of things anyway. But the cheek of it.
You were right.
We'd work late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order.
Order? Patterns?
Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters. Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. I find those referral letters... He was sure there was a pattern in them.
Huh. Okay, no, now I'm curious about hers, because we're getting actual, like...
I think you might be barking up the wrong...
Has she heard of Cthulhu?
Squeakity squeak squeak.
Oh, hey, that one's working, because it's not Twitch.
So you watched the tapes. Gold star for you. It's very interesting that you asked me that. It's not something I can answer, though.
Nope. Hey.
I've recruited the last 5 doctors since I've been here. I've got a flair for recognizing the extraordinary. Both you
Excuse
and
me.
Dr. Decker were extraordinary.
No, we got plenty of other people here who can bark if that's needed. Yeah, that's a good one. How are we extraordinary?
Both Cambridge graduates, both top of the class, both pliable, obedient slaves to my every whim.
I mean,
that
yes,
last
nicely.
one's more of a hope than a must-have attribute.
Woof woof. Carrot carrot.
I guess the carrots were there for me.
This practice is owned by a trust. They make all the money and leave me to make all the decisions, which generally means making lots of money. I headhunted Dr. Decker. And you?
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it. And what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you too.
Close enough. Wow, that's a really short resignation letter. When did... What? I was gonna ask when his mother even got brought up.
She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25.
He walked in on a guy who had been stabbed. Maybe the dude needs a cuddle. Oh crap, who did Elin say? Okay. I can find you the exact Simpsons quote for it if you want. Cassandra, I'm scared of what you're gonna ask me to read.
Test is the
Oh,
wrong
I
word, more
misread.
like gently guide. Professor Alderby had a lot of good advice to offer the young psychiatrists. He
Oh
really
god, this
helps
is gonna be
them
awkward. I'm reading an
focus on
Abe
where the
Simpson
problems are.
quote in a flustering voice. I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it. And what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you too. Ugh. Feels weird.
It's smashed.
Okay, perhaps I should ask someone else a question. Oh, I haven't even talked to Elin yet. Okay. Right.
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I, I just
That'll
wanted the day
happen.
to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day. Hannah's clothes are piled of ashes.
Mhm. He is like a puppy dog.
I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another. and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor?
Autumn.
I thought you'd be an autumn person. That means you're supposed to be grounded and productive,
Well, that's not right.
and you like your space.
Okay, that's true.
I was up all night wondering where the sun went. Then it dawned on me.
The noise cancellation caught it from me bonking the microphone, trying to bonk you on the head.
I'm not sure what you're getting at. I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said it uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Decker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Decker saw that day.
No, I don't think you had anything to do with the murder.
That's not really something I know about.
Okay.
I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day, visiting Hannah's grave. It was the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge
she
funeral
died
with all
on
the trimmings.
Valentine's
Hannah would never
Day.
have come for it. It does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph.
Oh, you poor boy. I'm getting very head empty.
There's more than one question there, Doc. It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm afraid we might have to call it here, because now my head is starting to pound. So, yeah, sorry for cutting short here, but I'm gonna go take some ibuprofen and lay down. Thank you all for being here, though. I'm enjoying the game, and I enjoy participation. I might stream tomorrow if I'm feeling better. I don't know what I'll stream, but I'll stream something probably. Have a good whatever time of day this is.